All right, welcome back. It's the end of Halloween as we know it. We've gone through every Halloween movie there is. We're down to the final one. Halloween Ends.
That's right.
If you're new, we've reviewed every single Halloween movie up to this point. It was a second time I had seen all these before for me, and Alec had just seen the original as all first watches after that. So after this, he can say he's seen every Halloween movie, right?
That's right. And I'm pretty excited about that. I was actually I was so excited about it. The fact that I watched all these. I talked to probably the biggest horror fan friend of mine, my friend Josh. I
Uh,
told him, "Hey, I've officially seen all the Halloween movies," and so we had a little conversation about that. So um, he's already privy to some of my thoughts and feelings about this movie, and as well as my general ranking and tier list because I wrote one out for him just because he was kind of curious.
mm-hmm.
Um, so
Okay. And then when we're done the review, we're gonna do a quick debriefing of where our rankings end up, and just a quick reflection on the series. But as always, we didn't discuss this movie beforehand, so we're gonna go in with our gut check score out of 10. Then we're gonna do the review, and we lock in our final scores at the end. All right, shall we?
what's oh okay, all right, the showdown, the final showdown.
Is this the
I have
sewer? That's very
I have I have the
very wet.
it's yeah, it's the sewer.
That's what I wanted to draw, but I
Yeah,
couldn't really think of how to
yeah,
convey it properly. You got it. All right.
yeah.
All right. Three, two, one, flip. 2.5.
What was it? 2
2.5.
2.5.
7.5 is crazy.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. I really like this
That's
movie
a
a lot.
shock.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. 2.5. I on the one hand, I think I can understand why people hate this movie. Because it doesn't have Michael Myers in it.
Hey,
I don't
you can't
care.
use mocking
It
voice
was
when talking to me with my
yes.
2.5.
Yeah.
We
It
suddenly we
doesn't have
don't care
Michael Myers.
about
I
Michael Myers not
no,
being in it.
no. I honestly, after seeing all of these movies and seeing all the lengths that they go to force Michael Myers to do the same shit over and over and over again, seeing a movie take such a bold step. I originally going into this, like,
Hmm.
I was probably, like, halfway through the movie, and I was like, "I don't know how I feel about this movie." Like, I'm like, I'm torn, because on the one hand, this is, like, nothing like any of the other Halloween movies, but on the other hand, this is, like, bold and, uh, g gutsy, in a way that Halloween Kills was not, um, and so yeah, I was kind of stunned by because again, I remembered this not being liked very much, and I think I get it on the one hand, but on the other hand, this movie was so much more interesting because it didn't overly rely on Michael Myers, and it's really kind of returning back to the original themes of the first film, the what the nature of evil is. Uh, and it's like I granted it's heavy, it's a little heavy-handed, a little overwrought for my liking. I didn't love Jamie Lee Curtis's like um kind of the monologues during certain points of it. I get it's like because she's writing her memoir or whatever, writing something to even help herself through her past or whatever. But I don't know. I really liked it. I really liked it a lot. Yeah,
You shocked
I
me.
thought it
You
was a
never
really.
cease
I thought it was
to
it
shock
was a
me.
really good it was a really good movie. It's like you take the idea that like if you don't have Michael Myers in it, fine. It's not a crowd pleasing movie, whatever. But we've already been through this with Halloween 3 and I think that movie's great. It's
Right,
just
but
not a great Halloween movie. But this
well,
still has the Michael Myers. He's still there, but it's
he's
it's more of this idea of this he's an infection or like it's this that what is the nature of evil? That's the whole movie is questioning that. So anyway, I like this movie a lot. I think in fact I borderline love this movie. I will say. Yeah. So,
Ugh.
yeah. Yeah.
Right.
I'm coming out and saying it. Yeah. I think this movie's great. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like this
Okay.
movie
I,
at
I won't
all.
say I won't say I won't say this movie's great, but I think this movie is good.
Yeah, I think it's bad. I think it's bad, and yeah, the it's not only that Michael Myers isn't in it. It's Michael Myers is in it, but he is not Michael Myers. He's some weird sort of sewer demon living amongst the sewer, like it's a different. He's like a different guy, you know. Now he's recruiting this guy. I was constantly finding myself annoyed by the situations we're thrust in, where it's just like everybody just springing up on each other, random shit's happening. You got these annoying ass kids. Like, well, how many times we got to put annoying ass kids in this movie? We had that happening. We have Corey, who out of nowhere is the central figure of this movie. Um, and they really just forced that upon us. And then Allison's gonna go rogue with him, so her character's completely just down the dumps for this movie. She's just
I don't think she really, other than in the first, like she barely had a character in the last movie. I mean, she did, but it was annoying and stupid.
she was way it was infinitely more annoying than this one. And everybody's
No.
beef with Laurie was pissing me off in this movie. I'm like, everybody had to come up have some reason to be pissed at Laurie because it's now her fault that Michael Myers did what he did. You know, she instigated a a, a mentally ill man, and how dare she do that? And then
Well,
now,
that's the radio host. That's his take on the whole thing because that's his whole.
right, but then the neighbor even comes up, who they, of
Yeah.
course, made her live after her horrible,
Yeah.
what I thought was a horrible death, bleeding out, watching her husband die, but she lost her voice and everything. But I guess it was like her family member who was speaking on her behalf, saying, you know, you did this, you instigated
Yeah.
this, man. Um, I just found myself very annoyed by a lot of this movie. Corey is really a rough character for me. I think like it's an interesting interesting concept, the way he's like everybody thinks he murdered this kid. You know, you don't know the exact circumstances
Yeah.
around it. They think it's malicious, but then he has no spine, so he inevitably just morphs into, okay, I am just a killer by the end of it. And
No, but it's way more gradual than that. That's what's That's what's good about this movie. It's not just like oh, he doesn't have a spine and blah blah blah. There's the themes are rich in this movie, which is something I cannot say about almost any other Halloween movie other than like the first one and then the H20 in 2018. It's rich in terms of the themes, in terms of the things it's going for. I just can't. I can understand maybe finding that character, uh, you know, maybe not likable. I guess the movie does sort of hinge on you kind of rooting for him in some way, but that's the whole theme of the movie, though, is the fact that like his turn from this idea of the nature of evil, of it's like it's either it's something that's forced upon you, an outside force that's upon you, or it's something that grows from within. And in this case, it's something that's both for him. It's something that maybe he did always kind of have something within him, but it's like all of these people, essentially people making him the boogeyman, right? That's the idea, is that Michael Myers has disappeared. People don't even know if he's around, and people don't know if he's alive. He took Laurie's daughter, and that was the last thing he did, and they disappeared. So people don't even necessarily know if he's, even around, or if he's dead or what. Um, and you have this character where it's like the evil of Michael Myers is not it's like infected the town in such a way that like all of these characters that you would expect to be like, I mean, it's even from the beginning of the movie. The beginning of the movie is like this is something that I was like picking up on. It was like this you got this whole this overbearing mother. She's like, oh, he's very afraid of things, and he's really sensitive about this Michael Myers stuff. And then you find out it's like, no, he loves violent movies, and he also is a piece of shit who's like preying on this on him, trying to scare him into thinking Michael Myers is after him. And then then of course actually he's freaking out. He accidentally knocks him off the balcony, and then this is, oh, well, obviously you killed this little kid. What the hell, you monster? Because
Mm-hmm.
the town, no longer with Michael, has to have something else to latch onto. And it's like, well, here we go, another killer. Here we go, another killer in Haddonfield. Here he is.
Yeah.
And and the whole and the whole movie, I mean, they even go so far, like, he's dressed in the same outfit as Michael Myers. He's a mechanic. He's wearing like the same stuff. He adopts his own mask. It's like the all of it's there. It's this idea of like this evil is can return. It can come back in another shape or another form. And I also like this weird like symbiotic relationship that Michael and him have, where it's like when he starts killing, Michael seems to be getting more power again too. It's like the evil that's consumed Michael Myers, which is sort of like gone to hiding, is it grows stronger with him. It's like this weird because he's like a 65-year-old man or whatever, right? So it's like it doesn't make any sense that he's or older, right? So it doesn't almost doesn't make sense the fact that he has this supernatural strength. But
Well, it never
um
made sense though, did it? It is supernatural for a reason. He is
right,
a
right, right,
freak.
exactly. Exactly. But that's but and this movie essentially is just leaning into that, continues to lean into that, even though he's not the main focus. It's about it's about Corey Cunningham. Again, an alliterative name like Michael Myers,
Like Peter
Corey
Parker, he's
Cunningham.
just right up there with the iconic
Okay,
alliterative names.
okay.
Corey is pissing me
Comic
off
names,
the
yes.
whole movie. I want nothing to do with Corey Cunningham
I think
and his
I
weak
find his
ass
character arc.
bullshit getting pushed off a
No,
bridge.
okay, because yeah, those kids
just
are jerks.
it just got tired of this the whole like I'm so meek, and then it's like of course naturally I'm gonna resort to teaming up and becoming the student of Michael Myers. That's natural progression. I get this
No,
evil in the air, but I don't know. It doesn't. It
it's
just
because
doesn't work.
no, I fundamentally disagree with you. I think it works perfectly fine. I because that's the whole thing. That the whole thing is about the transfer of evil, right? Like they even like emphasize the idea of that this like evil's like an infection, and they have this whole thing with him getting his this cut hand, and that's the change. When that happens, that's when he starts like embracing the side of himself. When he blasts he like crushes that chocolate milk uh
Hmm.
bottle or whatever. He's like gets mad, and then he's introduced to Laurie right away. And like that's another thing with Laurie's character is that she feels that she's also like allowing this stuff to perpetuate and continue too, because it's like she kind of believes in him. She thinks he's a good thing, but it's like no. And then she realizes, much like the husband of the boy who was accidentally killed by him, um, he realizes that he's like, I always kind of had that kid. He was always a good kid, but then when I saw him recently, it's like those eyes were that's not the same kid that mowed my lawn. That's not the same kid that accidentally did that to my
She's like
son.
Yoda. She's like Yoda. She's like he's going down a dark path. This one
Yeah,
I
yeah,
see
yeah. It's like
evil.
it is
It's
kind of
like
it is sort of like the dark side. It is kind of so it is a little silly in that regard, but I think the film for it being kind of a little bit more metaphorical, a little bit more theme dense and theme rich, makes for a much more interesting movie than just Laurie and Michael fighting each other again. We already got that. We've gotten that in like how many movies now? We got that in
right,
2018.
but it is
And
Halloween
I actually
ends. Right, it is
right,
Halloween
and
ends. So, hmm,
I actually think that the movie fundamentally kind of I actually I'm still torn on the ending because like on one hand it's like okay, Laurie and Michael have it out, but it's also like kind of lame. The fight in the kitchen is sort of like it's kind of a
well, that's
thing.
my
I don't
thing.
know.
I think like we have this epic Halloween ends at the end of a huge franchise, or at least this trilogy of a huge franchise, and you're gonna have a definitive name like Halloween Ends, and then immediately go into Halloween Ends. Like, here's the new character that actually is gonna be the focus of everything. and then we're gonna like after he gets killed in the last 15 minutes, Michael's gonna come in, and then they're gonna fight in the kitchen, and then we're gonna now it's over. Now Michael Myers is dead, and it's like, whoa, we just rushed right to the grand thing I thought we were building towards here. Meanwhile, like most of this movie doesn't feel like Halloween at all to me. You know, you don't really get much of the Halloween we love until way, way into the movie. You know, there's not that sense of dread. I didn't feel anything like that. It was just kind of like the story's playing out with Corey and everything with him, and then Allison, Laurie, and that stuff's going on. And then eventually we get into okay, now we got Michael Myers, and it just didn't really work for me. Um, and I found
It's
most of
like
the characters to be insufferable in this one. You know, like really didn't
you're
like
not supposed
Corey.
to like.
I
You're
didn't
not
like
okay. Or
Allison.
you are supposed to like. I don't know how you don't like these characters personally. I will say the movie doesn't work if you don't. So with that knowledge, I guess I can understand why you don't like the movie because you don't like the characters.
Yeah, I
All of
mean,
the side characters are horrible. They're all terrible people. It's
yeah.
like again, it's like my this is such a much better way of doing what they kind of were trying to do with Halloween Kills, where it's like the evil's infecting the town. It's affected this town for 40 years. And it's so loud and ugly and overwrought and stupid. But this one is like so much more thoughtful. Like so much more thoughtful. Like the all of the stuff with the like people that you wouldn't necessarily you like again, like the little kid, it's like he's a little piece of shit, and like the teenagers, they're all kind of horrible people. The cop that's hitting on Allison, the doctor who's like sleeping with the woman that he gives a promotion to. It's like all of these like nasty people. So it's like you can understand where Corey and Allison are coming from, and it's just the problem is that then you know this Corey with all of the stuff of the town, he snaps. You know, he's the boogeyman now. The town's made him out to be the boogeyman, and then that, in addition to maybe some semblance of lurking evil in there, the influence of Michael Myers. You know, I just it I really found myself just fascinated by this movie, and I'm yeah, I mean, I think it's kind of a bummer that more people don't appreciate it. I think it's definitely worth a watch with, particularly if you know that like where the movie's going. If you know ahead of time where the movie's going, maybe that would help a little. I don't know. I kind of went in blind. I remembered that people didn't like this, but I didn't. I just that general consensus being that, but I didn't really know anything about it. But like going into this, it's like, oh, this is like
Certainly going into it, you would never expect what happens in this movie. But
no, because I looked a little bit up, and it's like all the advertising around this had nothing about Corey. It was almost all like the epic conclusion
yeah,
of Laurie and Michael, and it's like that's not really what the movie's about. um, so
yeah,
I don't know. I think I appreciate it for being more of an uh a kind of a look at again a more contemporary look at the themes that were kind of originally being explored in the original film. And yeah, I mean, I guess that's not what people want. People want Michael and Laurie fighting or something. I don't know, but to me, I was kind of I realized I realized about an hour into the movie that like I realized that it's okay to have a Halloween movie where it's not just the Michael Myers show the entire movie. It's okay that he's his presence is still very much felt throughout the entire film. That's the whole point, is that the evil, he is like a presence of evil, and it's affecting Corey, and it's still coming finding its way around to Laurie again here still, but by way of Allison. And it's okay. And this I think is kind of why I want Halloween to just take a break for a while. Like it probably will. I hope it will. It seems to have I haven't heard any rumblings of any ideas of a reboot or whatever. Again, another reboot, right?
Hmm.
Um, but I think they've played out everything you can kind of do with the Michael Myers idea. We've tried a reboot, we've tried a new universe, we did like a weird Thorn trilogy, we did this new trilogy. I think what more can you do with him? Well, they tried to do something more with him here and people didn't like it. So,
So I think the movie I could see you liking the movie by itself, but it does not, to me, is not a satisfying end. Even if you frame it just in this trilogy, it really feels like its own thing. Like
well,
this is another sequel
well,
series.
you see I have it as a 7.5 and not like a 9,
Yeah.
right? It's not the most satisfying ending. Like it's swinging for the fences and it's doing a really good job, but it still doesn't end up being like it still isn't being the big home run that I think it was attempting to try to land. It's uneven. I don't think it works entirely. Um, I think I've maybe found it maybe more satisfying than most would because it's like in end. I well here okay. I guess to be more specific, the thing that I loved about the ending of the movie is Laurie's last line, which I actually can't really remember, but it moving to showing her house in daylight.
Uh-huh.
And that was a perfect way to end this franchise because it's like Michael's dead, the evil's gone for now.
But yes, you said the truth is
And
evil
and
doesn't
and like
die; it
having
changes shape.
it changes shape, right? Which is true, but at least for now we have a respite for that. And what I appreciated about it is because obvious, very obvious reference to the original film, where the idea there is that Michael could be lurking anywhere. The evil could be anywhere. It's like it's a bunch of empty shots because he's disappeared. He could be anywhere.
Uh-huh.
But here it's like rooms of her house awash in daylight. The evil does change shape, but for now there's at least some peace, right? Michael's not a problem
At least
anymore.
we saw
And
with
I think that's
certainty that
perfect.
Michael Myers is dead. This
Yeah,
time
I think it is.
They can't do it again.
Yeah, no, you can't. You cannot. Well, not in this continuity. You can't.
Yeah.
Not in this continuity. You can
But
make
now they're gonna
it's
pass
like a
off the evil onto a new guy who's gonna just take the mask, and it's gonna be like,
no. It's probably gonna. It's. I don't think they're gonna use this continuity. If they use this continuity
yeah,
again, I
well,
think it's. I please don't do that.
no, they
Don't do
won't.
that.
They'll just do it again.
Yeah.
They'll start over
Yeah.
again.
It's
Yeah,
gonna be the same damn thing all over again. Yeah. Yeah. But that's why I want them to take a break for a long time because to
yeah,
me, even though this is not a perfect ending, I don't think it's the most satisfying it could have been. I still thought it worked as a movie in general.
yeah. And
It's
it
probably
didn't
not
work for
everybody's cup
me,
of
so
tea,
that's
but
my problem.
it clearly
So
didn't work for you.
it
Yeah.
was not what I was looking for the end of the series, end of the trilogy, and it also
Well,
didn't work
here's
for me.
here's a question. What would have been more satisfying for you?
I don't know. I don't know. I didn't know where we were going with Halloween ends, but I mean, look, if we're going for a fresh trilogy, we got we were able to have a satisfying end um with Halloween 20 years later. We can do it again. Now we're using that same
They
thing going to
did. It was called
2018.
Ha it was called Halloween
I know, and I
2018.
was like, all right, I was good there. But if we're gonna drag it on again, I don't need to now introduce a new character and sideline Michael, bring him back into the last 15 minutes. I mean, there was definitely we I didn't really like care for most of the kills in this. I mean, you had a couple.
Oh, no, no. The kills were so good in this. Are you kidding?
It's
There were
Corey's
okay.
bitch ass.
Some of the yeah, but there were a couple Michael killed a couple people. It was kind of cool. Yeah, but Corey's bitch ass like pounded somebody's head into the ground,
He
much like Michael did in
blowtorched
the
a
first
dude,
movie.
and he got poor
That's
Ronald
awesome.
killed.
Yeah, torch that guy.
Why?
That was
Why did
sick.
Ronald give this kid a gun? He gave the kid a gun, and he immediately backfired on him.
Yeah,
Uh,
that was a not the best idea.
but yeah, I mean, there's. I just the whole thing was a mess towards the end. Like they did the whole like. I thought it was kind of cute. Laurie did the suicide fake out thing thought I was gonna kill
Yeah, oh
myself,
yeah,
and then 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 Corey strategically
yeah,
stabs himself in the throat to frame
yeah.
Laurie.
Right, right.
Allison walks in on cue. She
His last,
she
his
pulled out the
his
knife
last, his
just to
his
perfectly
last
frame
act of,
herself.
yeah, it was his last act of evil.
But
Yeah.
she perfectly framed herself grabbing that knife like that.
Well, but but it sort of reflects it's a little bit reflective of the beginning, because what does he say? What's the first thing the parents hear when they open the doors? I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna kill you. And then immediately what happens is that he's dead. He it
Uh-huh.
looks to them like he shoved them off the balcony,
Yeah.
right?
But I mean,
So it looks to her that she just stabbed
I know, but Allison walks in
her
on
boyfriend.
this. She doesn't care about the context or anything. She's like, "All right, fuck this. You're killing my boyfriend. I'm out of here." Then
Okay,
she
what
comes
does it
back.
look
Then
like?
she comes
What
back.
does it look like
She
she
comes
did?
back later and
Yeah.
says, "All right, no, you got it. You were right." I didn't really
Yeah,
understand
but
what changed.
are you kidding? The movie blatantly spells that out.
What?
She sees the radio tower on fire
Hmm.
while she gets a call from the sheriff saying, "Hey, your mom just sent in a suicide call here. What's going on? Is she okay?" So to her, that's like, "Oh my god, she called in his suicide." And also, the tower's on fire and all these other people are dead. Obviously, my boyfriend has been going around and killing people.
But why didn't we get through to
She
her
thi
earlier?
she pisses, well, she didn't know about it. She was, like, completely oblivious to most of that.
I don't know. Well, Allison was still insufferable
Yeah.
most of the movie to me. Like that was pissed
I
me
don't
off.
agree. I don't.
Yeah, like I'm gonna
I
go
liked her
rogue with this.
character
I'm
in
gonna go
this.
rogue with this guy on a
Yeah.
whim. First of all, I'm not going with no strange new dude I just met to a house where he had reportedly killed a kid in the past.
She didn't just meet him, though. That was after a few
A
days.
few
It was after a
days.
couple of days.
I'm
Yeah.
telling you, a few days is just meeting someone. I'm not trusting anyone enough
Okay,
to like. I'm gonna
alright.
go alone into this house and let me just do a play-by-play on what happened when I allegedly killed this kid. All right, I just
She
want to take you in
probably
here alone.
asked. I don't know if he prompted that.
They
It
were
was
just
left
hanging
vague
out in
there.
this
I don't know.
house that I killed a kid in. I
I
mean,
think
it
that
was
was
the
left kind of vague.
vibes were off. I don't know. I'm
Yeah.
just like she was way too like. By the way, he had L Riz, no aura, and it still worked. I was like, come on. Allison was just hook, line, and sinker from nothing. No
I mean,
charisma, nothing.
he was cute, and I think they had chemistry. They clearly did. I don't see how you couldn't say that. Like, yeah, he was
I,
awkward, but, like, I don't know, he kind of had a little charm about him. And then, of course, some women are turned on a little bit by aggression, so, she might have had, like, a little thing that, because like, that's the chain, right? The whole thing, there's this whole thing with another thing, which you're conveniently forgetting, is this whole idea of transformation and change is another big theme of the film, because there's the whole thing about the death tarot card being, oh, that's transformation and change, right? That's the whole
mhm.
thing. You're about to be undergoing that. Death isn't actually bad in tarot. It's actually can be a good thing. It's kind of a neutral state, but it usually means that you're going to be undergoing a big change. And that's sort of her catalyst as well, to be like, oh, undergoing a change. Maybe she's getting a promotion, but it's no, she meets this guy and she's kind of a little, immediately kind of enamored with him, and then kind of falls in love. And that's a whole situation. But meanwhile, he's undergoing his own transformation, going down a dark path,
I don't.
going to the dark
That's my
side.
problem. I don't care about Corey's transformation. He's not Anakin
It's
Skywalker.
it's so I disagree. I think it's so compelling.
From his
I think it's I
perspective, Laurie's evil.
Yeah, I guess, I don't know.
Um,
But yeah, well, I like that scene. I actually liked that scene where it was not, well, she wasn't really there. She wasn't really in the house, but the scene of her and him sort of talking there in the house, where she basically, she lays out, she spells out the themes of the movie.
mhm.
um and but I like that scene a lot. I think that was the moment when when it sort of clicked. It was like, okay, No, this movie's pretty good actually. I think this movie's actually
Wow.
working for me.
Okay.
But
Freakshow Laurie, Psycho
yeah.
Corey. Like they were a kind
Hey,
of
they
duo.
rhyme. That's
They
cute.
were an iconic
Iconic
duo for a
duo.
bit. They they popped the tires. What I
Yeah.
found funny in this movie is like like we got back to the bit of the small town Haddonfield stuff earlier, though we do have
Mm.
like full on Haddonfield hospital uniforms in this, and then but everybody
Yeah.
in this movie is constantly just running into each other so perfectly coincidentally. Like Laurie's running into a dude in the grocery store, and then Corey runs into these kids the first time, and then he's walking along the street. The kids happen to be coming by, fuck him up and chuck him off a bridge. I mean, then there's so many like
I
coincidental encounters.
yeah,
It's
I kind of like the small town feel of that, but I will agree. Maybe it's a little too
It's like everything
convenient
was so
for some of
convenient.
that.
And then this homeless guy under the bridge starts going crazy on Corey, just to perfectly
But
what
that's
you
the
call
thing. That's
that's the
the
evil.
again this yeah.
We can't just do
That's
this
the evil that's
mystical evil
infecting it.
shit.
But what do you mean you can't just
That
they
doesn't
just
mean
did it in the
it
last movie.
works.
No, they did it in the last movie. It was fucking awful, but they did it in this movie and it works. It works. It just works for the film. I don't
It
know what
didn't
to tell
work. It
you.
didn't work.
Yeah, I disagree
It didn't work
fundamentally.
just because that's the theming doesn't mean that it works.
No, but like
The
it's
the
the
characters
whole
are
it's affecting the whole town. I don't understand
That's a
why
completely
this is a
different movie
problem
then.
now.
That's not Halloween. Like we're not in Halloween anymore. This isn't a
Yes, it
Halloween movie.
okay. All right. So in the original film, Michael Myers is not even a character anymore. He's who is he credited as in the credits? And he's still credited in these later films as too.
Right.
The Shape.
Uh-huh.
He's not Michael Myers anymore. And this is something that Dr. Loomis like nails in completely. Like that's not Michael anymore. That's I don't know who that is. That's pure evil
Right.
is what that is. And they hone in on that in this trilogy. And I think obviously the middle part does a very bad job of handling this idea, but um it goes back to that idea that like
Right, but we didn't need
this
to pass it
amorphous
on
idea of
in the original. We were fine with
the original
Michael.
film is the original film. You
Yeah.
can't he's not that's not the point of the movie. It's not passing on to anybody. It's just
Right.
it's a random killer.
There's a reason it
It's
works though. That's what we
yeah.
liked about
Oh, yeah,
Halloween
of course
is
it
that
works.
we didn't when we start
Of
giving Michael Myers a
course it works.
backstory in the other ones, then it's like, okay, we're losing a bit of the magic here. You
Yeah,
know,
and he doesn't have a backstory in this
I
still.
know, but we are instead bringing in another character to now
That has a
do this
backstory,
weird
and you can
student
do something interesting with that.
protege shit in the sewer, and I'm gonna pass on. I thought it funny when he just went in and fucked Michael up and took his mask
I
though.
thought that what I almost wanted to have happen there, honestly, I think it would have made the movie better if Michael just completely disappeared
Just
there.
he just killed him, or he
He just
just
no,
fucked
he
off.
just disappears. He just dis I
Disappears.
mean, here's the thing. Michael disappeared already from Haddonfield. He's been living in a sewer for 4 years?
Sure.
Okay, sure. But, like, what if this idea of, like, is he gets his power from killing? It's like he was kept alive by the medical system, right? You know, or the prison system, right? They were keeping him
Yeah.
alive physically, this evil they were keeping alive, but when he's, secluded in this sewer, a sewer monster,
He's gonna vanish
he
before our
needs
eyes.
he needs a younger, supple, stronger form,
Ooh.
and this nebbish little kid who ends up, transforming and becoming a stronger, more fearsome individual. And so Michael could have
You
lived
wanted
on
to
through
see
him.
him vanish in front of our very eyes.
Sure, or it just vanished from the movie.
You're lost in the sauce. They got you with the evil shit.
I think they got me with it.
We
I think the movie works. I think it works.
can
I don't
joke
know
about
what to tell
Michael
you.
vanishing off screen, he teleports and shit, but I don't need to see
Yeah, well,
him
yeah,
phase out, res out. Though he was giving some Darth Vader energy in this movie. I noticed he was doing some
he
heavy
was a little
breathing,
bit, yeah. Yeah,
and then
he's
even the
heavy.
whole like Anakin Skywalker vibe too. So I don't know.
Yeah, he watched Corey get his first major kill. You get the
It's so corny.
he was there to
It's so
witness it.
corny
Yeah,
that they teamed up. Let's go and tag team this one. Well, like you can just like shadow me, I guess. And
yeah.
he's kind of
Okay.
sloppy about it, banging on the door, and he's like, "Oh, fucking, I'll take care of it over here." And he's like watching, but I don't know. All right, well, love the
The
writing.
music is amazing. The
Uh,
music is amazing too. It's still
yeah.
this whole trilogy banging soundtrack. So
Did you like when
you
Laurie
gave
said you need to
Halloween Kills a
show?
6.5.
At least that one had
It's
fun kills.
no,
And at
no.
least
Okay, yeah, it did have fun kills.
I
Yeah, I will
enjoyed
agree.
it, and at least I mean, I felt like it was dragging in this movie early on. It was like a give
No
me
way.
Halloween. Yeah. Give me Halloween. Halloween
It did.
ends. Halloween ends.
There's
I
not
don't have enough
kills.
time to run out of time for Halloween.
There aren't kills in the original Halloween until like well into the movie.
But there was
And there's not
dread.
like
There was creepiness. I didn't get any of that from
yeah.
here.
No,
The Corey's
this is a
fucking
completely different
around.
story. Yeah, it's like a love
I
story.
don't want that
It's
though. Why do I
weird.
need that?
Okay, fine. You don't
I
need
don't need
it,
to sign.
but it's different. It's
I don't need
something
to
okay.
sign off on it. It's a different story. It's you can say it's bold. You can
Okay.
say it's different. It doesn't mean it
Okay.
works.
Zach, uh, tell me the truth. People generally, I mean, people will complain about everything, but people will complain that they don't get anything new. That they just have. It's like, but then when they get something new, they complain about it. But if
Yeah.
they give them the same thing, they also complain about it and say, "Give us something new." So
Huh?
you can't please everybody.
You could have pleased me
So I
so
think
fucking hard, dude.
they gave the crowd pleasing one in the original film. They took somewhat of a swing in the second one that just didn't work, and then they tried another swing here. And I think it worked way better than the second film did.
Right, but I'm saying like you can come back. They came back with a new trilogy, and we both
Which shouldn't have been a
appreciated.
trilogy. Should have just
But we both appreciated
20.
Halloween 2018.
Yeah,
We
it's
both
great.
appreciate what it did. Not too many complaints, right? We didn't need to start going crazy with it. Like, just we could still keep the same energy, and we would have pleased the fans. It's not like, oh, we need to bring in this Corey Cunningham and
But do
you
you
know,
have to please the fans? Like I will agree that there's a degree of that you should take that into consideration.
well,
That's why
please
we
me,
have hold on. We like taking Star Wars, so because we talked about Star Wars as an example.
yeah,
The Force Awakens is a crowd pleasing film. I really like The Force Awakens. They took a huge swing with The Last Jedi. That movie blows and
uh-huh.
people don't like it. But Ryan Johnson is a very talented director. I don't think he's a very good writer. He's a very talented director, and that movie looks amazing. But that was not made to be a crowd pleasing movie. That was made to be Ryan Johnson doing whatever he wanted with Star Wars.
Uh-huh.
And it didn't work. So what did they do? They tried to do the crowd pleasing thing again with Rise of Skywalker. And we both were very positive about that movie at the time. I still have overall, I think, positive feelings about it.
Mhm.
But that movie's kind of just garbage. Like it's not there's nothing very artistic about The Rise of Skywalker,
Mhm.
whereas I can at least say that about The Last Jedi. Now here, I can say that there's something artistic about maybe all 3 of these films, and I don't think the second one is very good. I don't think it's a good movie, but it is trying to do something entirely different
Yeah.
with this franchise, because it's like, what do you do? It's almost like I don't know if this was originally. This does not come across to me that this was planned as a trilogy. It very much comes across to me like they 2018 made a ton of money and then they were like, green light 2 sequels, like that. That's kind of what it comes across as. So, um, to me, it's like, what do you do? It's like, okay, well, you try to do, I don't know, something with the Evil Dies Tonight. That's just where you go with
Yeah.
that. And then it's like, well, what do you do after that? And it's like, well, do we just do the same thing again? No, let's make it kind of different. Let's make a like a love story and like have the evil be transferred. To me, it's a lot more interesting than just I don't know. Michael kills a bunch of people again, and then Laurie fights him, and she actually kills him this time. And it's like
Mhm.
we did that in 2018. Are we just going to do it again? I think that's boring. I
Well,
maybe it would have been satisfying to some degree, but I think that's boring.
the ultimate
And I
resolution still ended up being Michael Myers gets killed, and we're certain he gets killed for good this time. We just the way we
yeah.
got there was just kind of half-assed at the end. Like, you don't think there's a
Yeah,
reality
and
where we could have had a satisfying movie
I
where
th I
the
think
build to
I
that,
think I think there probably could have been a better way to get there. I will agree with you there.
and
I
if
mean, that's
Corey
why
would just fuck off.
this movie this no. That's what he did. He killed himself. He did fuck off. That's the whole thing. I to me that's yeah.
Look, I can give
That's
credit
why
all
this
day.
movie's not an 8 or a 9. That's not why this is not an 8 or a 9. This is still 7.5. This is
Uh,
still it's not a
yeah,
perfect
but
movie.
I can give credit all day for, and I'll say, yeah, I appreciate you trying something different. I like that. We talk about different series we've had. We're like, okay, this one tried something different. I appreciate it, but sometimes it just doesn't work. And you tried something different, but it's just as a mess. And that's what Halloween Ends is. And so that's how I feel
No,
about it.
Halloween Kills is a
it,
mess. This is not a mess.
it's easily Halloween Ends is easily the weakest of the trilogy. I'm gonna be real with you. This is
No,
some weak
no.
sauce Corey
This is
Cunningham bullshit. And I didn't ask for Corey Cunningham. I never wanted to meet Corey Cunningham, and I don't want to know
I
more
think this
about
was in
him.
my top I think this was in my top 5 ranking
Top five,
in my
baby.
list. Yeah. I mean, it's not saying much
Brutal.
considering what's below it, but, there's a
That's
lot of not
brutal.
very good Halloween
Yeah.
movies, but
Okay.
yeah.
Well, did you like when Laurie said that you need to find someone that makes you want to rip off your shirt and show grief your fucking tits?
Yeah, it was a little weird. Yeah. I mean,
And say, you know
that
what?
felt
Let's
to me
go.
like that felt to me like that Jamie Lee Curtis just wrote that. She just said that. Like it's just that's the kind of lady she is. I don't know. Because she has that kind of energy. She's sort of like wacky and kind of fun, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a feeling that she might have just wrote that, and they were like, "Yeah, sure, yeah, you can say that, Jamie."
Well, there you
So yeah,
go. Final score.
yep,
All right. 3, 2, 1. Flip. 2.5.
still sticking at a 7.5. Yeah,
You shocked me. I thought for sure we'd come in and it'd be easy, just
no,
like, yeah, of course, sewer
no,
demon
I
Michael.
really liked it. I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. I was surprised because, like I said, going into it, because one of my housemates showed up and I was like, I don't know if I don't know if I really like this or really don't like this yet. I don't I haven't it took me a while to make up my mind on the movie, I
Yeah.
will say. But
Well,
I ended up thinking it's great. So,
a
whatever.
Tarqaron score of 5 out of 10 is what it is.
That's kind of
uh,
crazy.
I'm tabulating
So,
our rankings, and we'll see. I'm making a rankings based just on the score, and then we'll see if we agree with how it's shaped up or not.
yeah.
Um, and then of course, when you go into our individuals, there's a lot more like ties and whatnot, because we have a lot more that are the same scores. Okay, so with that being said, the definitive Tarkaron Halloween rankings based on our scores alone. Number
Let's go.
one is Halloween 1978 with a 9 out of 10. All right.
So, it's an amazing film.
Number two is Halloween 2018 with 8.25 out of 10. Number three is Halloween H20, 20 years later, with an 8 out of 10. Tied for fourth, we have Halloween 2, 1981, and Halloween 3, Season of the Witch, both with 7.75 out of 10. Number 6 is Halloween 5, The Revenge of Michael Myers, with 6.25. Number 7 is Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers, with a 6. What's that? Number 8 is Halloween Kills with 5.25. Number 9 is Halloween Ends with a 5. Number
That's insane.
10 is
That's
Halloween
crazy. That's
2.
crazy.
Number 10 is Halloween 2, 2009 with a 4. Number 11 is Halloween 2007 with 3.25. Number 12 is Halloween The Curse of Michael Myers with a 3. And number 13 is Halloween Resurrection with a 1 out of 10. That is the Tarqaron
That's one of
ranking.
the worst movies I've ever watched in my life. But I will say, I will forever have Busta Rhymes kicking Michael Myers and saying "trick or treat, motherfucker" in my brain forever. I will
He kicked
have
his
that
ass. He kicked his
in there.
ass too.
He did, and it was really stupid.
So, I mean, we agree with the top. Essentially, we more or less agree with the top and the bottom, I feel like. But
Yeah.
in the middle, it gets switched around a little bit.
Yeah, I think yeah, I'm not sure in terms of like the general rankings, but I think I would probably, because when I wrote, I guess we can go through what our each personal lists are.
Yeah.
Because when I was writing them out for my friend Josh, I think I came up with obviously John Carpenter's the original,
Mm-hmm.
and then it was, I think it was 2018, then H20, so that makes a lot of sense. Then Halloween 3, Halloween 2, and Halloween Ends were kind of in the in between for me.
Mm-hmm.
I think I ended up putting Halloween Ends up above it. Um, and then after that, it's like the Thorn trilogy, and it's interesting because now I would say it's 4, 5, 6 is kind of how I probably would feel about it.
Okay.
Um, and then it was the Rob Zombie films, and then it was Resurrection.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah.
Halloween Kills was somewhere in there. I think it was before. I think it was still above the Rob Zombie ones. I
Mm.
still put it above those,
All
but
right. So yeah, based on score, yours are Halloween 1978 with a 9, Halloween 2018 8.5, Halloween 3 and Halloween H20 with both with an 8, Halloween 2 1981 and Halloween Ends both with 7.5, Halloween 4 and Halloween 5 both with a 6,
okay, makes sense.
Halloween 2 2009 and Halloween Kills both with a 4. And Halloween, The Curse
Interesting.
of Michael Myers, and Halloween 2007, both with 3.5, and Halloween Resurrection with a 1. So,
Yeah, I think I can still kind of stand behind that because the Curse of Michael Myers is really very, very bad.
yeah.
But so are the Rob Zombie ones. I don't know. That's those are kind of like weird. That was a bad zone. I didn't really love that zone to be in. It was kind
yeah.
of not. Thankfully we had the like H20 in there, but then it was like after that it's like, oh, then Resurrection and then the Rob Zombie ones. I was like, ugh.
Yeah, yeah.
So we were in kind of the doldrums for a while, but
So, a quick rundown of mine. I have Halloween 1978 as the 9, Halloween 2, Halloween H20, and Halloween 2018 all had 8s. Halloween 3 had 7.5. Halloween 5 and Halloween Kills had a 6.5. Halloween 4 had a 6. Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 had a 4. Rob Zombie's Halloween had a 3. Halloween The Curse of Michael Myers and Halloween Ends had 2.5, and Halloween Resurrection with a 1. Yeah, I can see it. I can see that for sure. Yeah, when he gets down to the towards the bottom there, yeah, with the Rob Zombies and Curse of Michael Myers, Halloween Ends, it all kind of muddied for me. I could probably switch some of those around. But yeah, so how do we feel about this series? Now that you've seen every Halloween movie.
I think this has solidified that the original Halloween is one of my favorite movies of all time.
Mm,
I'm not gonna say it's in like, I think what I said my friend Josh, was that it's like this is easy top 50, if not top 25, the original Halloween. And I think what solidified it for me was like going through all these movies is that, to me it's just like, I don't know, I came through a greater appreciation for that movie, but it's I had a really good time just sort of generally vibing with the general, like the general takes on horror, like what slasher movies were like during certain
mm-hmm.
eras. You have the Thorn trilogy, which is like its own kind of weird, and that's like very much very 80s stuff. You have kind of the um folk horror aspect of Halloween 3. I think Halloween 3 is great. I really like that movie. And uh you have the weird like remake, the 2000s remake. You have the attempt at modernizing with Resurrection, and you've got all these you can track all the different eras of like in horror films with this particular franchise, and I think that's really interesting. Um Particularly because like they do something also very interesting with it too, where there's a big movie at the 20th and then at the 40th year from the original
Yeah.
film, which most I don't think any other horror franchise can really speak to, at least not in the same way.
And the fact that they're both
Um,
some of the best in the series too.
yeah,
Usually
and they're both amazing.
these kind of legacy type sequels tend to not be that great.
Yeah, they can tend to like get lost in the weeds, but the whoever was behind them, the people behind them, David Gordon Green and oh, what's his name was also a writer on the Gordon Green trilogy, which is a little
Oh
surprising
yeah,
to
yeah,
me.
yeah. Yeah, I think I know who you're
Uh,
talking about. I can't
Dana,
remember.
Dana, Danny McBride
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
being
Danny
involved.
McBride.
That's fascinating to me. That is really interesting. Because he's mostly known as being a kind of a comedian. He's very seen in tons of 2000s and early 2010s comedies.
Hmm.
Um, so I thought that was interesting that he was like he kind of threw his hat in the ring in terms of writing, and like again, I hate Halloween Kills, but uh ultimately I think that it's interesting. I don't know. He's maybe not a bad writer, all things considered. Um, so yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's
So it's just I fascinating. Like it's a fascinating series in a lot of ways
a
because of
lot of
that.
peaks and valleys. Yeah, so many of them are disjointed. So it's like a series, but it's really multiple series within it.
Okay, yeah, sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, but I think one last thing is like I think I also just came to a greater appreciation of people who like my friend Josh or Rusty who grew up like watching a lot of these movies. It's like to me, I can come to like a more like a I can understand where they're coming from now. Like having seen all of them, I can kind of see, you know, especially the original film, but I can see like even some of the sequels being formative for people.
Yeah,
Being enjoyable or making you tense. They're perfect. They are almost all of them, not all of them, but almost all of them are solid films to watch at that time of year. And I'm definitely going to be watching the original Halloween, some of the sequels in the future for the season. So,
yeah. I mean, this is the longest movie review series we've ever done. 13
mhm.
movies, and it's kind of impressive, I guess, that we ended up with five that we generally consider 7.5 and above as like our approval averaged out between us. So we have five that crossed that bar at least.
Yeah,
There are a lot of lows in here for sure, but I feel like
yeah,
maybe I don't know. I mean, maybe this is kind of how I remembered it, but I was thinking maybe I underestimated the peaks that I remember from Halloween.
mm,
But yeah, I mean it is mostly rough, but the ones that do rise to the top, they're definitely worthwhile. Like it's kind of like Star Wars in a sense because there's like one you can kind of take from each era. You know,
yeah,
it's like
yeah,
Halloween 1978, 20 years later, 2018. Those three are all solid, and then you
yeah,
could sprinkle in, Halloween 3 is the weird one, Halloween 2, and then maybe a couple of the other sequels, but they're just kind of okay. They have their moments though. So it's a big undertaking, but we've reached it. So we've reached the end
yeah.
of
I'm glad you
Halloween.
kind of forced your hand on this one. I actually appreciate that we went through this because it was fun. I really enjoyed. Because
Yeah.
it's like sometimes you gotta take the good with the bad, and there's a lot of bad here, but there's the nuggets are so good that,
Hmm.
like, it's
Yeah.
completely worth having a Halloween Resurrection in there if you get some gold, like, H20. H20 to me is just like, because I knew the reputation that 2018 had. Like I remember, or I should say, like I knew that I had the idea that like people generally like this one. Think that was the kind of a, but I didn't really know a lot about H20. I knew that it was like, oh, Jamie Lee Curtis is back, but I didn't really know like what the general sentiment is behind it, and I still kind of don't. But I really liked that movie a lot, and I think that it being emblematic of the '90s era of horror films, it's a post Scream '90s horror film, and I think it is a testament to just how thoughtful and interesting you can make this genre. Um, and I mean, it's something obviously that '79 is the linchpin of slasher films in general. It's the proto slasher basically, and it's amazing film. Like I said, it's this overall solidified. Like, yes, that movie is like that's one of my top films ever.
Yeah.
And it really also just like, man, I really need to watch more John Carpenter movies because it's like the thing. The thing is in my top 10, if not my top 5 movies of all
Yeah, I
time.
still haven't seen that
That's
one.
like one of my favorite. They're watching the thing in Halloween Ends.
That's true.
So yeah, that movie is so good. But yeah,
Yeah. I
yeah,
mean,
good stuff.
worth noting that in a few weeks' time, I forget exactly when, but we're planning to do a retrospective on all of our movie review series we've done because Halloween marked the 10th series of
Yeah,
movies that we've gone
yeah,
through. Um, and when I say that, there's specific guidelines that qualify things as specifically the series we watched back to back for weeks. Um, because we've gone on to watch series like we watched the three Sonic the Hedgehog movies, but that wasn't a continuous series kind of thing.
right, right.
But yeah, so there's 10 that we did like that more or less week by week, and so we're gonna do like a top 10 retrospective. I'm gonna put them all together, get the average scores of all of them, and then we're gonna go up 10 through 1 and see how it goes because I don't even know how that shakes up. But then we can reflect
I
because some of these have been years since we've watched. We might not even agree with certain scores and see how things come out.
I think if I had to just take a guess right now, I would say Harry Potter is probably going to be pretty high. As
Yeah,
I think
Harry
as a
Potter was
whole,
like
those movies,
almost all green scores,
yeah,
all
because
in the green.
I think because all of those movies are good. They're I even Goblet of Fire, I would still probably lean.
Hmm.
It's the weakest film I would say. I think it's still probably a pretty good
Because
movie.
the only
I
one
kind
really
of
holding it
like it.
back is the Fantastic Beasts: Crimes of Grindelwald. But that's like
Oh
one.
yeah,
That's
that's
only
right. Oh yeah, the
one.
Wizarding. Yeah,
Because the Secret of Dumbledore, which I didn't really like, we actually gave like a 6.5. Like that's not too bad.
yeah.
So it's
Well,
probably pretty high up there. I think my guess would be
we gave it a
Godfather is number one.
6.5. Oh, Godfather would be number 1, yeah.
It's
We gave it a
between those two.
6.5, but I think we were also like, "Who cares?" We also were kinda like, "Who
Well, that's what
cares?"
looking back on series. I'm like, well, if I were to
Yeah,
review this now, it would probably be more harsh with my
yeah,
scores. Like
probably be
some
more like a
over the
it'd probably be
years,
more like
I've
a
kind of I think I've skewed more because it felt like I didn't like a movie and I give it 6.5. It's like that's like was really low to me then. Then now it's like okay, it's
yeah,
not that low. So
yeah,
so there could be some of that the way we've changed our scores over time that affects things
yeah.
too.
I think we're a little more open to throwing down, especially this film series like this also help us be a little bit more open to throwing down the 4s and 3.5s and things like that,
Yeah.
2.5s,
Yeah,
like
this
today,
one is an
for
interesting
example,
one. I have
so
no idea where this actually lands in the 10 because it's so much. It
there's
probably
so much
middles
peaks
out
and valleys, yeah,
to like a 5
yeah,
or something. I don't know,
yeah.
but
It's gonna be fun. It'll be fun to kinda to look back on those because
yeah,
I mean,
give a
Godfather,
rich.
yeah, I think Godfather easily
Godfather is tough because there's only
is
four
yeah,
movies. Because we did the trilogy and then Coda. So yeah, and they were
yeah,
all like none were reviewed poorly. So
yeah,
that's gonna be
even
hard to
Godfather
beat.
even part 3, which is easily the weakest. it's still a really good movie. And then
It's-
Coda completely rescues it. I think we gave it a full point higher.
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah. Godfather Part 3 like clears more than half of the Halloween
yeah,
movies.
yeah, it
So
does easily.
yeah,
It's still a good movie.
but
It's
yeah. So
just
what else we have? We have Star Wars, which is all over the
yeah,
place.
a lot of people. That is all over the
We have
place too,
Shrek,
and all
which
over the place.
I have no idea really like. It doesn't go super low, doesn't go super high either. But then we're gonna conclude the ones we watched later too, even if it wasn't part of the series, like Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. So that'll bump that a little bit.
Hmm.
We got Ghostbusters, which is there's not too many of them, so it's probably like average score. Halloween Town's probably pretty low. It could be contention for the bottom.
You
Um,
gotta let yourself have it, though.
yeah.
Sometimes you just gotta do that.
What else? Anything else?
Well,
Shrek.
Harry Potter or Pirates of the Caribbean.
Parts of the
Yeah,
Caribbean is pretty good actually. Like as far as
yeah,
average, I think
yeah.
we
Four and
never,
five dip it. 4 and 5 dip it down a little bit more, but
but not nothing crazy. Like definitely nowhere
yeah,
near the valleys of like Halloween again. So
yeah.
I'm
We
really
ain't throwing a
interested in
three
if it gets
out.
close. If it's close between these, I don't know. But yeah,
Yeah,
it feels
well,
like
you'll have to just tune in next week to find that out.
yeah. Well, not next week, but in a
Oh,
few weeks
well,
or so.
yeah, not next week. Yeah, sorry, I correct that. So keep an eye out on your subscription feed for that, because we will be doing that in the future, in
But
the
yeah,
near
I
future.
think Godfather, Wizarding World are probably the top two. I don't think
Yeah, that's pretty
seems
easy
like it won't
to
be
say that. Yeah.
contested. But we thank you for watching. Subscribe to the channel for more. We're probably gonna take a break from some movie series because that really has taken up months of our time. Was always got a slot for
Yeah,
Halloween, but we'll be back
yeah,
for something eventually.
yeah. We'll be back. You can sound off in the comments about how wrong I am about liking Halloween Ends,
Woo!
because I don't feel like I'm probably not a popular opinion.
I don't think
So
so, but there might be
yeah,
defenders. There might be Halloween Ends defenders here. Um, thank you for watching. Subscribe, like the video, and in the meantime, I'm gonna recommend a random Tarqaron video for you to watch next.
random rules.
All right, if you enjoyed this video, why don't you go check out our review of The Midnight Club.
Oh
Mike Flanagan's series, The Midnight Club. How about that?
yeah,
Um,
bummed it never got a second season because you know,
yeah. But we got
kind of
Mike
needed
Flanagan
one.
coming up later this year with
Yeah,
Clayface.
hey face, let's go. I'm excited for that.
Yeah. But yeah, Mike Flanagan, if you like horror, check out Mike Flanagan's stuff first of all if you haven't seen it. He's directed a lot of great series. Um
Yeah.
and we've reviewed all of them, so check those out
Well,
too.
all the ones that have been released in since we've started reviewing his stuff. We haven't gone back and
All the series, right? Wasn't that all the series
all
though?
all the series. One of the films.
Yeah. So I'm saying all the
We need to
series
go
we
back.
reviewed,
Yeah,
but
yeah. I
not the
think we have
films.
done all the series. Yeah, yeah. We need to go back and catch up on some of those. Maybe a monthly movie night might not be a bad idea for that. Actually,
We could fit them in there
watch a
for sure.
watch a Gerald's Game or Oculus. Throw
Mm-hmm.
one of those in there.
Ronald's Game. All right.
Who was Ron? Ron, you talking about the guy's stepdad or
Yeah,
whatever?
poor guy.
Ronald. Yeah, I kind of feel bad for him. He was just trying to watch a Van Damme movie in peace, okay? Or whatever that was. I don't actually know what movie that was that he
No.
was watching.
Well, take care, everybody. Bye.